Everybody always says get good, but they don't explain how to. So I'm going to explain it to you in a way that you can understand. The gamer who is tired of being bad at video games and tired of people telling them to get good and wishes someone would just explain it, because I was there before. I used to be there in fighting games. I used to be there in shooting games. I used to be there with games in general. How can people play on these hard difficulties? I beat the entire Mass Effect series 1 through 3 on insanity difficulty, and by the end of it I was like, why is this so easy? How is it that people can beat games like Elden Ring? How do they do it? Like, what do they have that I don't have? Why can't I get good? And then when I ask them for help, all they say to me is good, and I'm doing the best that I can, and I don't understand why it's working. You gamer, shut up and just listen to me. Okay? Just listen. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Stop listening to disagree and listen to understand, and I will change the way that you play video games forever. Okay? Forever. Just be quiet, please. Now, the way to get good is that you must stop comparing yourself to other gamers. You have to stop doing it. It's illogical. It doesn't make any sense. These other gamers are better than you for a variety of reasons that don't have anything to do with you or your skill or where you're at in gaming right now. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. For example, in Call of Duty, I am really good at getting headshots with the pistol. I am. And it's not because I'm a tryhard. It's for a reason you wouldn't even consider, but if I explained it to you, would make perfect sense. When I was a child, I was in an environment that was not good at all. Nothing from the core. The core of the environment I lived in was dysfunctional to a degree that if I tried to put into words would ensure that 1, no one will ever love me romantically again, and 2, I wouldn't want to show my face to the world. Now, I have enough emotional intelligence to know that that's not true. I'm sure there's somebody out there that would love me, but the fact that that is a thought that I have demonstrates to you, my dear gaming friend, the environment I was in, okay? And in that environment, I wanted to leave often. And there weren't many ways to leave because I was not yet a legal adult, so I couldn't go anywhere. And I also couldn't rage quit the game because I was a Christian, and then that meant that I would go to hell. So I was living in hell and also the fear of hell. I needed something else to focus on. And one day, I decided, for a reason that makes sense now, but didn't then. I've always wondered where this came from. But one day I decided I want to, you know what? I know what it was. Anyway, one day I decided I want to get really good at getting headshots with pistols in Call of Duty Online. And then I decided I just want to get good at getting headshots in video games, period. I don't know why I was so obsessed with headshots. It's a good thing that mom didn't keep guns around the house. I don't know why I was so obsessed with headshots, but I was. And so I embarked on a journey to the exclusion of everything to get really good at aiming for the head in video games. I did. I would do it in Far Cry. I would do it in any game that had a mechanic where you shot things. And I'm telling you, that years and years and years and years and years and a divorce and years that have passed, I have gotten very good at doing it. If you compare yourself to me in terms of who can get the most headshots with a pistol, who can be effective in a game with headshots, and you compare yourself to me, it's unfair. Because my motivation is different from yours. You're trying to be better than me. I'm trying to stop myself. Never mind. The point is, the comparisons that you are making to other gamers is why you are not good. That's what it is. And you can't get good when you live in an environment where you're constantly comparing yourself. because you never are able to just sit with, this is the skill level that I am at right now. And if I want to move forward, I have to do something different. The thing is, you don't know what to do. You don't know how to get better. You don't know how to practice when you play games. You don't know what you need to do. And the reason your friends keep telling you to get good is because they're tired of trying to explain it to you. Because it's something that the only way you are going to understand is if someone sits down and talks to you specifically in a way that you need to hear, so that you can understand that you just have to make better choices. You do. You do. When you're in Call of Duty and your health is low, don't continue to run out there. Go find some cover. When you're playing a fighting game, do more than go into the practice mode and just practice the highest damage combo. Do you know when to use it? Do you even know how to put yourself into a situation where that combo is viable? Is it a safe combo to do? Do you know what frame data is? You have to do more than just repeat the same behaviors over and over again. And that is what you do, and that's why you're bad at every game. You approach every game in the same mindless, non-attention giving way. And that's not all your fault. We live in a world and a gaming landscape that incentivizes that. But once you know, and here's the thing that breaks my heart about this the most with y'all, is that if you just understood what I was saying, the level up that you would have in your life would be so immediate. I will never forget whenever I actually sat down and understood frame data in fighting games. I actually read an article, I wish I could think of it online what it was, but it talked about how, think about being in different situations, instead of just trying to beat up on the person, then oh my God, all of a sudden the strategies that opened up to me. And when I learned that, like, I don't need to start the game, if I'm playing a fighting game and I already know what I'm going to do immediately, I mean, you should have a game plan, but you should be ready to change it up if you need to. Some of you have a game plan and you just don't know what it is, but you're doing it, and that's why you're getting beat. But I never will forget the one time I fought someone and he held the block button the entire time and said, go watch the replay. And when I watched the replay, I looked at myself just doing a bunch of unnecessary things. Unnecessary. And I would do those unnecessary things, and then when they wouldn't work, I would try to throw him, he would duck my throw and uppercut me. Hilarious. Hilarious. Because I had no idea why I was doing what I was doing. But I was able to see. And that's the thing with video games. You can't blame anything else, and yet you are. Especially when, for example, if you're bad at Elden Ring, you must also be bad at research. Because there are so many guides out. There are so many people offering help. There's an abundance of help everywhere. You're just not accessing it. Because you think you should already know how to do it, but you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't be in this situation. It's okay to ask for help. That's the second thing you need to understand to get good. It is okay to ask for help. It's all right to watch a video of someone else do it and emulate what they do. That is how you get good. You have to stop trying to do it all on your own. It's okay to ask for help. I do ask for help when they tell me to get good. Because you're annoying. In some way. Not all the time. That's why they hang out with you. But there is an annoying part of you, and it's where when people are offering you help, you don't shut up and listen. You always have something to say. You're asking me for help. Shut up and let me help you. But you can't tolerate the feeling of discomfort that you get whenever someone is telling you something that you don't know. You shouldn't feel uncomfortable in a situation when someone is telling you something you don't know. You should be excited. And I could really get real deep with this if I wanted to and talk about childhood trauma and how if you were spanked as a child, that's probably why you feel that way. Because when you didn't know something and you made a mistake because you didn't know, you got a spanking for it. And so now you've been conditioned to feel bad in situations where someone's telling you something that you don't know, because that's usually after you got your ass beat. And so now that's been coded into your nervous system. I could go deep with it, but I don't think I will. I did also just split some of the population because some people are like, well, my parents never spanked me. They ain't have to. All they need to do is look at you wrong. For sure. Anyway. I think that's enough on this. I was going to go more. If y'all interested in more conversation about how to get good, you can come find me and talk to me one-on-one. Yeah. It's like $150, but I'll explain it to you. Other than that, I think this is a good way to show that I know what the hell I'm talking about. You can get good. You can. But you're first going to have to get good at not comparing yourself to people. You're going to have to get good at that second thing I mentioned during this conversation. And you're going to have to get good at letting go. You got to learn how to let shit go. For real. You got to learn how to let it go. A great way to do that is to find a video game that you really enjoy. Put it on the hardest difficulty and pretend that the enemy that you are fighting is something you need to let go of. And fight.